Samsung's next folding flagship might not just be bigger, it might finally fix two of the biggest complaints foldable fans have had for years: charging speed and battery life, and the latest leaks and certifications. For the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 and the new Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, also known as the Wide Fold, are giving us our clearest picture yet of what's coming. In this video, we're breaking down the brand new certification for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, what it reveals about the phone's hardware, the upgraded charging speeds for the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8, and how a slightly thicker design could be hiding a larger battery. We'll also talk about how the Wide Fold could completely change the way Samsung thinks about foldable displays. Let's get into it. The big confirmation: the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. Samsung's ultra-wide version of the Fold is real. A new listing spotted by Samiguru on China's compulsory certification database, also known as CCC, has revealed a new Samsung Foldable with the model number SMF917. That same model number has already appeared in the GSM IMEI database, and it's separate from the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8 model number, SMF976. So while the Wide Fold name doesn't show up in the listing itself, the model separation confirms what leaks have been pointing to for months. Samsung is working on two distinct Fold 8 models, the regular Galaxy Z Fold 8 and a wider, more tablet-like Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. CCC certification is not just a random paperwork step, it's a mandatory safety certification for products sold in China. And it usually appears when the hardware design is basically locked in. That means the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide and the standard Z Fold 8 are far enough along that Samsung is preparing them for mass production and global launch. Now, the listing doesn't directly reveal a launch date, but Samsung has a very predictable pattern with its foldable. Galaxy Z Fold phones typically arrive in the summer, often around a major unpacked event. Certification at this stage lines up perfectly with a summer release window for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 series, including the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. But the most exciting part of this new information isn't just that the Wide Fold exists, it's what the certification and the latest leaks are telling us about the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8's charging speeds and possibly its battery. According to the CCC documentation, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 now supports 45-watt wired superfast charging. That is a huge upgrade over last year's Galaxy Z Fold 7, which topped out at 25 watts, on paper. Going from 25 West to 45 West might sound like just another spec bump, but in real-world use, this can be a big deal. Faster charging means you'll be able to top up the Galaxy Z Fold 8 much more quickly before heading out. Short 10 to 20-minute charges during the day can add a lot more usable battery life. Heavy users, gamers, multitaskers, and power users won't be stuck on a charger nearly as long. And for 5W charging raises an obvious question. Is Samsung increasing the battery capacity in the Galaxy Z Fold 8 to go with that faster charging speed? We don't have an official battery size yet, but a fresh specification leak from Android headlines, working with reliable tipster on leaks, gives us a big clue. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 is getting slightly thicker. According to that leak, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 will measure 158.4 x 143.2 x 4.5 millimeters when unfolded, 158.4 x 72.8 by 9 millimeters. When folded, compare that to the Galaxy Z Fold 7's reported 4.2 millimeters thickness when unfolded, and you're looking at about 0.3 millimeters of extra thickness in the open state. Now, 0.3 millimeters might sound tiny, but in smartphone engineering, that's a meaningful amount of space. A fuller frame can allow for a physically larger battery pack, slightly thicker cooling and structural components, or reworked internals to balance durability and power. When you combine this marginally thicker body with a jump to 45 West charging, the door is wide open for Samsung to bump up the Galaxy Z Fold 8's battery capacity compared to the Fold 7.2. Understand why that matters. You have to look at what Samsung did with the last generation. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 dramatically slimmed down compared to the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Samsung used a new compact motherboard design, the same style it deployed in the ultra-slim Galaxy S25. edge to shrink the Fold 7 by about 1.4 millimeters while still keeping the same 4,400 mAh battery as the Fold 6, so the Fold 7 became slimmer and sleeker without sacrificing battery capacity. Thanks to more efficient internal layout and board design, that is what makes the Fold 8 leak so interesting. Samsung has already proven it can slim things down while holding the line on battery capacity. The Galaxy Z Fold 8, by adding back around 0.3 millimeters of thickness, suddenly has some extra internal volume to play with. Does that guarantee a larger battery? Not officially. Even Android Headlines notes that the leaked dimensions are approximate and that there could be slight variance either way. But if Samsung wants to improve endurance, give users more screen-on time, and justify that bump to 45W charging, a bigger battery fits perfectly into that story. Even a modest increase over 4,400 mAh, combined with Samsung's ongoing software optimization and more efficient chipset, could mean noticeably better real-world battery life on the Galaxy Z Fold 8. Of course, we also have to talk about design. Some fans will hear thicker and immediately worry that Samsung is going backwards. But context matters. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 had already made a dramatic drop in thickness compared to the Fold 6. That gave Samsung room to make calculated trade-offs. The Fold 8 could still end up thinner and lighter than many competitors, like the rumored Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold, even if it's technically a bit thicker than the Fold 7. Visually, don't expect a complete redesign for the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8. Based on leaks so far, it will likely look very similar to the Fold 7, with Samsung focusing on internal improvements like charging battery and durability rather than radically changing the outer shell. And that's where the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide comes in, because that's probably where Samsung is hiding the real design revolution. The Wide Fold, or Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, is rumored to be Samsung's ultra-wide take on a book-style foldable. Think less tall and narrow phone that opens into a tablet, and more shorter but wider canvas that feels more like a mini tablet when open. At events like Mobile World Congress, we've already seen Samsung tease its Galaxy Z Trifold concept, a trifolding phone-tablet hybrid with a much wider opened footprint. While the Z Fold 8 Wide isn't a trifold device, the display width is expected to be closer to that kind of form factor than to the traditional tall fold designs we've had up to now. That means the wide fold could be the sweet spot for people who want a more natural tablet experience for reading, drawing, or watching movies, prefer wider aspect ratios for productivity, think multi-window setups and side-by-side app use, find current fold devices to narrow in phone mode and too tall when opened. The CCC certification for the SMF917 model doesn't list all the specs, but it does confirm that this is a distinct device from the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8, and that its hardware is far enough along that Samsung is seeking regulatory approval. If Samsung follows its usual playbook, don't be surprised if the Galaxy Z Fold 8 plays it relatively safe on design, refined, polished, but familiar. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide becomes the bolder experiment, wider display, new proportions, and possibly different use case. OPTIMIZATIO. In that scenario, the standard Fold 8 gives users a slimmer, lighter evolution with better charging and potentially better battery life, while the Wide Fold targets power users, content consumers, and productivity-focused buyers who want a more tablet-like experience. So where does all this leave Samsung's foldable lineup, and should you wait for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 or the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide? Let's recap what these latest leaks and certifications tell us. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, also referred to as the Wide Fold, is effectively confirmed by the CCC listing and its SMF917 model number. It is a separate device from the standard Galaxy Z Fold 8 SMF976. The CCC certification indicates that hardware development is in its final stages, pointing to a typical summer launch window for Samsung's next-gen foldables. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 is getting a major charging upgrade for 5W wired superfast charging, up from 25W on the Galaxy Z Fold 7. New spec leak suggests the Fold 8 will be slightly thicker to 4.5 millimeters. unfolded versus around 4.2 millimeters on the Fold 7, opening the door to a larger battery and improved endurance.